Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss some of the pertaining issue in our state or nationally. Okay. The question number 1. According to World Health Organization, around 3.8 million people a year die from the exposure of household air pollution or indoor pollution. What are the issues and the possible solution for the same? See, the question is a very twisted one. Not the outdoor air pollution. So you have to answer the question based upon the indoor air pollution. Okay. Then what you are going to suggest to the concerned government or the authorities to mitigate the indoor air pollution? As usual, we introduce the topic. The environmental air pollution and indoor air pollution are inseparably linked, as people spend around 80% to 90% of their time staying indoor. Generally, the pollutants are classified into primary and secondary. The word primary pollutants means the pollutants directly released from the sources. For example, when you burn anything, partially or completely liberating carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, fuel burning, releasing oxides of nitrogen, the stubble burning, releasing hydrocarbons. So directly you are getting from the source. Meanwhile, chlorofluorocarbon, hydrofluorocarbon, ground level ozone are example for secondary pollutant, because it is formed by the reaction between primary pollutants. The pollutants are made by human being. We brand them secondary pollutants. So, the indoor air pollutants comprising both primary and secondary air pollutants. The State of Global Air Report 2019 estimated that 846 million people in India were exposed to household air pollution or indoor air pollution. See the number, 846 million people as per the Global Air Report 2019. What are the harmful effects? Exposure to ground level ozone increases a person's likelihood of dying from respiratory disease, especially cardiovascular disorder. When I place the word ground level ozone, is formed by the reaction between hydrocarbon with oxides of nitrogen in presence of light. The product will be ground level ozone. So, ground level ozone invariably leading to cardiovascular disorder. Secondly, the particulate matter 2.5 micrometer, the third leading risk for diabetes 2 type related to death and disability. So, the indoor air pollutants including the finest particle PM 2.5 micrometer. Number 3, the oxides of nitrogen cause inflammation on the air tract to the lungs. Long-term exposure leads to lung disorders, what we commonly call allergic issues. Again, the smoke released from cigar, mosquito coil in a closed environment can lead to cardiovascular, respiratory disorders. The major air pollutants in the domestic yard are indoor, comprising carbon monoxide. Because if we go through the data bank of northern part of India, the cooking material is mostly wood, what we commonly call firewood. It commonly burning partially, releasing carbon monoxide. That leads to hemoglobin disability or abnormality, leading to breathing suffocation, because the product will be carboxyhemoglobin. So, one other pollutant. Secondly, the smoke from the kerosene or from the woody material can also lead to the same issue. And third is the volatile organic compound, either released from the building material or from the home products. Again, radon, a decaying radioactive compound released from the uranium compounds. So, if the soil containing uranium, it decomposes naturally or decay naturally, releasing radon. This is another component. What is the reason for the same? Leading to indoor air pollution. One is access to affordable clean alternatives. Because if you take India, more than 50 to 60% of people are below the average income level. So they are unable to access affordable clean alternatives like cooking gas. That's one of the reason. Second is the construction guidelines for making buildings or indoor plan is not doing scientifically. Second point. And third is no routine toxic testing. If you go through western part of the world, each household containing a carboxymeter that reflects the level of carbon monoxide in the indoor area. It's a sensitive instrument. When the reading go beyond the limits, it producing an alarming noise, suggesting that the area is polluted. In India, we got no such precaution measures. So that again one other reason. Secondly, routine toxicity testing never occurred in India. So third important point. Number 4, labeling regulation. Because if the building material or the decorative material under indoor condition, if it release toxic gases, there should be a symbol indicating that possibility of toxicity. No such precaution measures in India. Fifth one, the gradual or abrupt environmental degradation, because there won't be any tree around the domestic area. So no recycling occurs. So another reason. Then humidity level, high level. high heat wave can also lead to the same issue. So there's a fifth one. Then if you analyze the health impacts, one is premature death, a very common event occurring in most of the metropolitan cities. For example, so 6 months back, one of the article published in a reputed journal saying that Delhi mats have got 10 years less than their span of life. So that means the area is under particulate matter that can lead to premature death. So as I said that Kanpur recording 150 people dying out of 1 lakh every year, the highest death rate or premature death rate recorded in India. Number 3, the mortality burden from indoor ambient air pollution is ranked only 4th behind the dietary risk, tobacco, high blood pressure. The most affected population will be children and women. Household air pollution can also lead to stroke, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, what it is commonly called COPD, the highest disorder recorded among the women and children category in India. And again, currently lung cancer is also recorded. So these are some of the impacts caused by the indoor air pollution. Parallelly, other than the health, what will be the impact on environment? Because environment is equally damaged. The cooking pollutants or gas pollutants leaching into the surrounding air, so which normally damaging the air occurring outside the domestic area. In India, the contribution of indoor air pollution is estimated to vary between 22 to 52%. So, but that's the point in environmental. Directly or indirectly, the leaching out air pollutant from the domestic area harm or damage environment. Number 3, it also got impact on the economy of the country or the states. Because as you know that every year the Delhi government spending huge money for purifying the air around the domestic area. So they are allotting an amount to clean air policy in the domestic area or in the household area. So my point is, indirectly indoor air pollutant affect the economy by spending more money in purifying the air. If you take the global scenario, South and East Asia, the cost is equivalent to 7.4 to 7.5% of their GDP. See the point? Not only in India, around the world, the same issue prevails. So what are the initiatives you can take? So another initiative taken by internationally is that National Cook Stove Program of China. So they given nearly 129 million households with the stove program, which normally releasing minimum or very marginal air pollutants. The program is called National Cook Stove Program. So one example. In India, there's another program is going on parallelly. National Program for Improved Chulhas. CHULHAS. India has also introduced several cook stove program approximately 100 million household lacking the modern cooking options. So it's commonly called improved chulhas. Number 3, Pradhana Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. The Indian Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas launched an initiative in 2016, facilitated 35 million LPG connection for 100 million energy poor household. Third example. And fourthly, another international program is going on. Global Alliance for Clean Cook Stove. A NGO focus on improving health and environment through the development of a clean cooking market. It is ambitious but achievable goal to foster the adaptation of clean cook stove and fuel in 100 million household in this year. Number 5, program on household air pollution. WHO developed a comprehensive program to support developing countries which focus on research and evaluation capacity, policy making and database to control household air pollution. A program launched by World Health Organization. Number 6, Clean Household Energy Solution Toolkit, commonly called CHEST, CHEST. The WHO developing a toolkit, namely CHEST, for planning household energy policies and program at both local, regional and national levels. So these are some of the programs carried globally. And the last point is, what are you are going to suggest to the authorities? One is public awareness, especially the people living in remote part of our country. Convey them or teach them the impact of indoor air pollutants. What are the possibilities of air pollutants? Which organs are affected by the air pollutants, etc. should be made awareness to the local people. Number 2, change the pattern of fuel usage. So that means the firewood policy should be changed into LPG or the clean cook stove programs, so that the pollutant released from kerosene or the low grade fuels can be minimized. Number 3, modification and scientific designing of the cook stove affordable to the common man. This also minimize or reduce the release of indoor air pollution. For example, you can make chimneys with outlets. So whatever the pollutant produced by the chimney will move through the outlet to the periphery. So the indoor air pollutants can be to a level regulated or controlled. So third important point. Fourth is make maximum ventilation. So whenever you are constructing a home, especially in the kitchen area, the ventilation should be proper, so that if any pollutant available are produced by the kitchen yard or inside the house can be released peripherally. So proper ventilation, very, very important. Lastly, there should be an inter-sector coordination and global initiative for mitigating or minimizing the indoor air pollutants by using current technology or by the modern technology. So that's the answer of the question, indoor air pollutant. So another short question, 5 more questions. You might have a slogan especially in the airport areas. Not all animals migrate by choice. See the caption, not all animals migrate by choice. A campaign, what does it reveal? Only for 5 marks. The word not all animals migrate by choice. The campaign is launched by improving the awareness on illegal wildlife crime trade. The last class we might read the sites, traffic, both are offering the same. So in order to minimize or make the awareness regarding illegal trading of wild animal, the campaign was launched. Not all animals migrate by choice. The campaign was launched by Wildlife Crime Control Bureau of India and UN Environment. So it is a joint program of UN Environment with Wildlife Crime Control Bureau of India, launched on May 22nd, the day for International Biodiversity Day. So during that day, the program was launched by Wildlife Crime Control Bureau of India and UN Environment. The campaign targeting or aiming public support for the protection and conservation of wildlife, prevention smuggling and reduction in demand of wildlife products. So that awareness was made by Wildlife Control Bureau of India in the form of a campaign called Not All Animals Migrate by Choice. The campaign also complements wildlife action on illegal trade through the UN Environment Global Campaign, Wild for Life. See the word, Wild for Life. A caption given by UN Environment. So we are also collaborating with UN Environment in a global campaign, namely Wild for Life. For example, in Indian scenario, tigers are endangered, pangolin is endangered, star tata is vulnerable, Tokai Jacko least concern. Our campaign targeted animals this current year because these animals are recorded for high level illegal trading. Because the last class also we said that the Tokoi Jacko was used by the Chinese tribal medicine. Pangolin was used by them for medicine. In such traditional medicine, they are using the wild animal. So that's why this year we are going to target such animal. Okay, and also this campaign also tracking the wild trade route map. For example, the star tortoise was tracked out and they captured the person doing illegal trading of star tortoise. But that's the program implicate called Not All Animal Migrate. See the third component. And then again a recent current affair. Electric mobility. What is commonly called EM. India has set an ambitious goal. 30% electric vehicle by 2030. So that was the target of India. Within 10 more years, Indian vehicles is going to be changing into electric mobility vehicles, 30%. In the next 5 years, we to achieve the target of 15% of electric vehicle on the road. India targeting small electric vehicle with affordable price rate of less than 10 lakh. Three-wheeler and car costing less than 10 lakh account for 4% and 12% of the vehicle pollution. Okay, if it is a three-wheeler vehicle, the reduction in air pollution will be 4%. If it is a four-wheeler vehicle, as a consequence of electric vehicle, the pollution is reduced to 12%. Concentration on small electric vehicle will help to meet the domestic demands. India is focusing on non-physical incentives such as credit-based carbon monoxide emission and efficiency. So, Government of India offering credit-based incentives for minimizing the pollutant released by the fuel-based vehicles. Manufacturers exceeding the emission target will be required to purchase credit from those meeting them. Okay, so each company was given a target to minimize the vehicle releasing air pollutants, through which we can achieve the target. The price of the credit will be decided by the market. The plan is to make electric and low emission vehicle cheaper than the polluting vehicle. That's the target. Currently, India is moving to the second phase of the program, what commonly called FAME, F-A-M-E, faster adaptation and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicle. See the word faster adaptation and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicle. So we are moving to the second phase, FAME 2. And the Government of India made an outlay of 10,000 crore for a period of 3 years to encourage faster adaptation. Incentive will be provided on purchase of electric vehicle, etc. So this is a way in which India targeting the markets, thereby reducing the air pollutants. Connectively to this question, there may be another option, batteries in electric vehicle, because that's very important. Batteries in electric vehicle. As you know that lithium ion battery are the most widely used component in electric vehicle, because the range is 200 to 300 kilometer per charging. Again, you might read in today's newspaper, one of the vehicles is going to be launched by the company where you can travel for 500 kilometers. See, 500 kilometers by using a fully charged electric vehicle. So that's why I use the word lithium ion battery. Lithium ion batteries used in electric vehicle can be recycled. Another merit. So you can recycle the battery after the usage. Lithium ion batteries, the cobalt is the key component of the cathode, what we commonly call positive charge. Cobalt preventing overheating of the battery, thus allowing charging and discharging for many years. That's why we are using cobalt as the positive charged electrode in the lithium battery. Lithium is a byproduct of mining nickel and copper, so easily available. About 60% of world supply of cobalt is from the country Democratic Republic of Congo. So that's the country supplying cobalt 60% globally around the world. As battery technology evolves, the amount of cobalt used may reduce or even stop at a particular stage, because if all the vehicle converted into lithium ion battery electric vehicle, there may be a shortage of lithium. The battery technology evolves, the amount of cobalt used may reduce, even stop. So to increasing the driving range and energy density will continue to be the future focus role. So we are not exclusively depending lithium. It's only a current scenario. Again, the technology is going to change, and we will find another alternative more performer than the current lithium. The span of life of the battery is again about 8 years. So durable for a period of 8 years. How long the charging is required? A very probable question. Currently, batteries used in electric car have the capacity of 50 kilowatts per hour. They can be charged overnight using the existing power supply available in your home. Batteries used in electric vehicle can be fast charged, like your mobile, fast charged. At the charging station, batteries can be charged within a span of 20 to 30 minutes. But fast charging can lead to overheating, degradation, reduce the life of the battery. That's a demerit. So slow charging is ideal. Okay, overnight charging is more than enough. Will electric vehicle emit the carbon monoxide or carbon emission? So it is not going to change much, but definitely the amount of carbon emission by such batteries in the electric vehicle is comparatively less. India is going to implement the scheme in most of the metropolitan cities in the current year. So that's the mobility, electric mobility or electric mobility vehicle. Another current affair question, again for 5 mark. The word is MS trips. See the word MS trips. What does it reflect? So it's a technology used in protecting, monitoring wildlife. We never imagined the word. It's a program or a technology designed to protect and monitor the wildlife, especially tigers. The expansion is monitoring system for tigers, intensive protection and ecological status. So the word have got the entire meaning of the program. See the word there, monitoring system for tigers. The meaning is there. By using the technology, we are going to monitor the tiger population in India. Secondly, intensive protection. Through this program, we offer protection to the tiger population. And the third word, and ecological status. So that means the habitat is monitored. Anybody is encroaching or illegally cutting the trees can be monitored. So that's the word is MS trips. Monitoring system for tigers, intensive protection and ecological status. It was launched across the Indian Tiger Reserve by the National Tiger Conservation Authority in collaborating with Wildlife Institute of India, WII, in 2010, 10 years back. Okay, what's the current scenario? Because currently, you might read in the paper that India made a census report of tigers, where we employed this technology very effectively. Okay, the current census report of tiger is based upon the M strip analysis. Okay, that's why the news is in the paper. So it is a program launched by NTCA plus WII. Then when I define the technology, a software based monitoring system designed to assist wildlife protection, monitoring and management of tigers in the protected areas. So it is the word is very clear, computerized program, real-time analysis of the tiger population, its movement, where it is moving, anybody is hunting the animal, everything can be monitored. Under the protocol, the forest guard are expected to record their track using the GPS. But see, that's why I place the word real-time monitoring. In addition to recording observation in site-specific data sheets, so they cannot miss the data. So every day they have to monitor the tiger, and the entire data should be recorded in site-specific data sheets. The system consists of two components. One is field-based protocol for patrolling, the law enforcement, recording wildlife crime, and ecological monitoring. Secondly, the customized software for storage, retrieval, analysis, and reporting. So these are the two components linked with the program called MS TRIPS. Merits of the program. As I said, it's a GPS based patrolling system. You can map the patrolling route, maintaining a spatial database for patrolling tiger tracks. This also helps in management analysis, trends and patterns to improve the protection. Similarly, this also identify the pitfall or the shortcoming of the petroleum in real-time basis. Also, it's a proof for the presence and patrolling of the forest guard in a particular area. So we can also track the guard whether he is doing his duty or not. That's the MS TRIPS. Okay. Then there is another very important question. National level. As a part of nationally determined contribution, the last day we said NDC, as per the Paris Accord on climate change, India has made a pledge that by 2030, 40% of energy generation in India is possibly from non-fossil fuels. And also, we are going to reduce the emission rates of the GDP by 33 to 35%. So these are the two components we want to justify, because these representing the nationally determined contribution of India in the Paris Summit or Paris Accord. Okay, how we are going to answer? Economic growth, increasing prosperity, in growth rate of urbanization, and rising per capita energy consumption has increased the energy demand of our country. See, the urbanization and the improved lifestyle demand more energy. In 2015, India decided that 175 gigawatt of renewable energy installable by the year 2022 in their thought. These include 100 gigawatt of solar power, 60 gigawatt of wind power, 10 gigawatt of biomass energy, and 5 gigawatt from small hydro powers. That is a split up you have. 175 comprising 100 from solar, 65 from wind, 10 from biomass, 5 from the small hydropowers. The sustainable higher capacity target will ensure greater energy security, improved energy access, and improved employment opportunities. But that's the background of the question. So what are the program we have? Number 1, Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Uttan Mahabayan, what is commonly called PM KUSUM, KUSUM, Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Uttan Mahabayan. The scheme cover grid connected renewable energy power plants with a target of 0.5 to 2 megawatt per solar water pump or grid connected agriculture pump. The components are installation of 10,000 megawatt of decentralized ground mounted grid connected renewable energy power plant by the farmers of 500 kW to 2 megawatt capacity within 5 kilometer distance from the substation, primarily on barren or uncultivable land. So that's the task India government is given exclusively for the farmer community. Second point here is that again the same KUSUM program have got installation of standalone off-grid solar water pump to fulfill irrigation needs for the farmers. See, solar pump for irrigation purposes. Solarization of existing grid connector agriculture pump to make farmers independent of grid supply, and they can also sell their excess energy produced to DISCOM, DISCOM, and get extra income. So if they are generating more energy after their usage, the excess energy can be sold to DISCOM and they can generate money. That's what we commonly call KUSUMAM. So clean energy plus income generation. Second point, second scheme for development of ultra mega renewable energy power park. Ultra mega renewable energy power park. So this is under the existing solar park scheme. Additional, we have got solar park scheme now. Additionally, we are going to ultra mega renewable energy power park. Okay, objective, it is to provide land upfront to project developer and facilitate transmission infrastructure for developing renewable energy based power park with solar or wind or hybrid energy. When I put the word hybrid, it's a combination of wind and solar, and also with a storage system. Excess energy can be stored there. So that's the objective of the scheme called Ultra Mega Renewable Energy Power Park. Second scheme. And third is RTS, what is commonly called Grid Connected Rooftop Solar Program. Rooftop Solar Program. See the word. The Union Cabinet approved phase 2 of grid connected rooftop solar program to achieving a cumulative capacity of 40,000 megawatt from rooftop solar projects by the year 2022. So that's a scheme given by Government of India. So the task is 40,000 megawatt through rooftop solar projects. In grid connected rooftop are what commonly called small solar photovoltaic SPV system. The DC power generated from SPV panel is converted into AC power using the power conditioning unit and is fed to the grid. The objective of the program includes to promote the grid connected SPV rooftop and small SPV power generating plants among the residential, community, institutional, industrial, commercial establishment to mitigate the dependence on the fossil fuel based on electricity generation and encourage eco-friendly solar electricity generation. Third point, to create an enabling environment for investment in the solar energy sector by the private sector, state government and also by the individual. Fourthly, create an enabling environment to supply the solar power from the rooftop and small plants to the grid. That's the RTS, Rooftop Solar Program, the third component. And fourth is National Wind Solar Hybrid Policy. What I place the word hybrid program. The objective here is a framework for promotion of large grid connected wind solar PV hybrid system. See the word large grid connected wind solar PV hybrid system for optimal and efficient utilization of wind and solar resources, transmission infrastructure and land. This will help in reducing the variability in renewable power generation and achieving optimal or better grid stability. The policy also aims to encourage new technologies or novel technologies way out involving combined operation of wind and solar power plants. So that's the fourth one in this scenario. And fifth is National Offshore Wind Energy Policy. The objective here is to develop the offshore wind energy in the Indian Exclusive Economic Zone, what it's commonly called EEZ, along the Indian coastal line of 7,600 kilometers. Currently, 8 zones are identified across Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, having cumulative offshore wind energy potential nearing 70 gigawatt. So the program is called with the term National Offshore Wind Energy Policy. The fifth one. The sixth one, Adal Jyoti Yojana, what is commonly called AJAY, AJAY. The phase 2 is going to be launched currently. The phase 1 was launched in 2016 for the installation of solar street lighting system in states with less than 50% of household covered with the grid power. So that was finished. 2011, it was 2016, it was over. Street line system was completely under the solar power. The phase 2 system, again the same objective, solar street lighting system for public usage. And we are going to launch the second scheme in the remote area, rural area, semi-urban area that do not have adequate lighting or lighting at a bus stop, public conveyance places, market area. That was the target given by Government of India in the phase 2 of the scheme called Agile. Another program launched by Government of India. International engagement. The second assembly of ISA, International Solar Alliance, because already I said that ISA was led by Government of India, headquarters in India, and the second phase is going to support India for generating more solar power from the sun, because it is an example for renewable clean energy. The Minister of New and Renewable Energy and Power now launching the scheme effectively across Indian states in collaborating with the International Solar Alliance. Another one. See, another very, very important question, especially Kerala is concerned. Uncontrolled sand mining, the major reason for destruction of river ecology in Kerala through indiscriminate, uncontrolled sand mining. Every day we used to see in papers, sand mining, the mafia group smuggling this sand. That's one of the reasons for landslide occurred in 2019 in Kerala. Justify with suggestions. See the question. Sand mining, the hot issue. Justify the statement and also comment your suggestions. So if you go through Indian scenario, Kerala scenario, 44 rivers in Kerala face this problem. When the sand is removed from the river belt, it reduces the availability of water in the well and canals near the rivers because the water table go down. Salinity is also a problem due to sand mining. For example, the Neyatangara on the bank of Neyar in South Kerala is prone to the issue. Similarly, the North Kannur is still reeling under flood flurry, landslide, mud flow, destroying everything on the way. In 2012, the sand audit of 11 rivers in Kerala revealed that indiscriminate, continuous sand mining occurred in the rivers. The recent Pamba riverbed in Pathanamthitta is a common news in the paper. The 6 rivers, namely Neyar, Vamanapuram, Kallada, Kuttiyadi, Kabani, Chandragiri, all this area till now illegal mining is going on. So the statement given is justifiable. Okay, then we will see the issue here. Sand was being dredged illegally and operations were claimed to be carried out in a non-stop manner. That means 24 hours a day, all the year, including the monsoon. Similarly, the professional people are using mechanical dredges and suction pump unscientifically. This can lead to disruption of the natural aquatic ecosystem. Number 3, several mangrove forests across our states are partially degraded because of the mining, because they are more prone to vulnerability. Number 4, The local people, even though placed a voice, it is not accepted by the authorities because of the fear of sand mafia. Some of the local fishermen were threatened by the mafia, so they never revealing such illegal mining to the officials as complaints. Many institutional processes to promote consultation with various stakeholders were short circulated when the consultation were sometimes deliberately scheduled in a time that were inconvenient for the villages. See the point there. So sometimes the government authorities will arrange a meeting for discussing the illegal mining with the local people. Mostly the meeting were arranged at a time where the villages are not able to attend the meeting. So no result is going to happen. Again, National Green Tribunal issued a restraint order against all sand mine activity across the states. But nothing happened. Even though the NGT prohibited sand mining because of the issue, nothing happened. For example, if I state in a national level, the river Yamuna, Ganga, Chambal, Gaudami, Revati rivers were illegally mined, even though NGT repetitively given the ban order. But that's happening in India. So what are the steps taken by the state governments to save the river from illegal mining? One is, the point number one, round the clock complaint cell that was arranged at the collectorate control room for the public to register the complaint. The appropriate decision will be taken by additional district magistrates to revenue squad formed to check the illegal practice round the clock. One step taken by government of Kerala. Second is, the Tahsildar have been asked to conduct raid, seize vehicle. They are doing illegal such activity and brought them before the notice of the district collector of the district. Thirdly, the circle inspector or the sub-inspector have been asked to take necessary step to control the illegal activity happening with the control room. Fourthly, it has been asked to take the custody of the sand seized and sell as per the government rates. The Deputy Commissioner of Police, Law and Order, the Superintendent of Police of the rural area have been requested to provide armed police protection for providing protection to revenue squad who are involved in seizing the vehicle of the people doing illegal sand mining. These are the law and order situation made by government of Kerala. Another question again connecting with the previous one. Underground water pollution in Kerala. See the word underground, that means groundwater pollution in Kerala. So if you go through the news value, there is a clipping from the government of newspaper. Kerala has the highest chemical or bacterial contamination in drinking water among the 28 tested states, according to the Union Ministry for Drinking Water and Sanitation. The state's economic review has stated. See, out of the 28 states, the sample were analyzed by the Union Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, revealed the information that Kerala was standing top in the priority list. So the statement is justifiable. If you take the Periyar and Chaliyar rivers, good example for the industrial effluents. It is estimated that nearly 260 million liters of trade effluents reach the Periyar estuary daily from Cochin-based industrial belt. The major water quality problem associated with the river in Kerala is bacterial contamination. The assessment report of rivers such as Chalakudi, Periyar, Muvattupuzha, Meenanchal, Pamba, Achankovil indicates that the major quality problem is due to bacterial and falling under the category B or C as per the Central Pollution Control Board, Government of India. That much the water is polluted. So you can, if you take the Kerala scenario, number one, open well. Open well means what we commonly call well of the local people are under threat because of bacterial contamination. 60% of population depend on groundwater for drinking. Studies shown that fecal contamination is present in 90% of drinking water in the open well. What may be the reason? The open character of the well is the point number one, without any boundaries. In the open yard, the well is situated. Second is conventional maintenance of the habits. We never bother about the well or the surrounding area. Number three, still we are using bucket and rope for taking water or drawing water. Number four, the most important reason, the kitchen waste and the latrine pit are usually located very near to the open well. So every possibility of the leakage of contaminants from this area into the open well takes place. But that's the issue connecting with the fecal contamination in the open well of Kerala. Again, if you take the groundwater, as you know, the groundwater is the source of the water for most of the people in India, including Kerala. If you take the analysis, the groundwater is chemically and bacteriologically polluted. The reason are, number one, industrial leakage of effluents. Because without any processing, they discharge the effluents directly into the nearby river, stream or open yard. Number two, leakage of fertilizer, leakage of pesticide as an agriculture residue. So water we are putting for plant as fertilizer, spraying on the plant as pesticide, leaking into the nearby water bodies. Then the sewage disposal from the domestic yard. Number four, urbanization, another very important component. Commercial residential activities. Domestic sewage, fecal waste, kitchen waste, laundry waste from the household area releasing into the open yard. All these are the prime reason for contamination in the groundwater of the state. Second major component. And third is, if you analyze the component, the physicochemical properties of the contaminants. Number one, the prime component recorded was fluoride. If you go through the fluoride contamination in India, the prime report is from West Bengal, Calcutta. But now in Kerala, we are recording the fluoride contamination. Okay, so this normally leads to dental fluorosis. When I put the word dental fluorosis, bleeding and swelling in the gum. Similarly, it leads to skeletal fluorosis, the acute stage, what we commonly call bracketed leg. They cannot stand erect. They cannot bend their leg. Very painful. The normal fluoride level required is less than 0.5 mg per liter. See, normal level is less than 0.5 mg per liter. The desirable limit or the maximum limit is 1 mg per liter. Again, another very interesting point is that India, the fluoridation is not needed since we are getting sufficient fluoride from other food items we are consuming. Many vegetable fruits containing fluoride. So there is no need for further adding fluoride through the food. So this is what I said, the fluorosis, dental fluorosis. And the bracket leg. In June 1999, when we made an analysis across the Indian states, the Alappuzha district recorded the fluoride contamination more severely than any other district in Kerala. But comparatively, the dosage of fluoride is very less during monsoon. Later, we record the fluoride contamination in Palakkad district, namely Chittoor, Kolangod, Malampuzha area. So, every possibility for dental fluorosis or skeletal fluorosis. Second physical chemical component recorded in Kerala was iron. The desirable limit of iron is 0.3 mg per liter to a maximum value called 1 mg per liter. Beyond this, affect the taste and the appearance of the products. For example, the occurrence of more iron in the water will lead to staining of plumbing fixtures, or it is appearing as a crusted mud in the vessels what we are using. This may promote the growth of iron bacteria. See, another issue. And in Kerala, iron tragedy was recorded in Karunagapalli of Kollam district. Okay, so the vessels can be discolorized, or the rubber tubes became non-flexible. Very interestingly, the level of fluoride recorded was 14.6 mg per liter. Maximum level is 1 mg, but the recorded level is 14 times higher than what required. So that can lead to other issues. Number 3, acidity. When I put the word acidity, it representing the pH below 7. The acceptable acidity is in between 6.5 to 7 maximum. 7 is the neutral. Okay, but in Kerala, the acidity level goes well below 6.5. It is recorded from Venyaramudu area of Thiruvananthapuram district. So the water is acidic. So third important point. And fourth factor we measuring water is hardness of the water. What we commonly called hardness. The desirable limit is 300 mg per liter. And here the level is more than that. We are recording the same in Alappuzha, Palakkad, Ernakulam, Thrissur. So this can lead to encrustation on the water supplies. Problematic. The lathering goods will be damaged. Another issue, water hardness in Kerala. And fifth is the presence of chloride, like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride. This also affect the health of the human being, like kidney, heart diseases. The sources of chlorine are the rocks containing chloride, agriculture runoff waste containing chloride, wastewater from industries containing chloride, wastewater from power plants containing chloride. So this can affect the kidney as well as the heart of the people. Again recorded from Kerala. chloride contamination in the water. What will be the effect in the other ways? Chloride normally corrode metals. It changes the taste of the food. See the component. Other than affecting kidney and heart, it changes the taste of the food, corrode the metals, and most commonly affecting the fish population. Another issue you have. Then the bacteriological contamination. So whenever I put the word bacteriological, the water containing high density of coli, C-O-L-I, or more appropriately E. coli contamination. Because most of the people depending on the portable water or the natural groundwater. And here the groundwater is contaminated with E. coli. Whenever we use the word E. coli contamination, indirectly it reflecting fecal contamination. So that means nothing other than the human and animal waste enter into the water body. One of the reports from Kerala saying that 70% of the well in Thiruvananthapuram and Kollam are E. coli contaminated. Secondly, the last year you might read in the paper that Pampa river, the sacred river of Sabarimala, highly contaminated with fecal matter. The probable reason is heavy tourism of people across the country into the Sabarimala region. Another issue you have. Again, one of the NGO, Greens, Greens, they made a survey in Karamana river of Trivandrum and they recorded the high pollution of the river. The reason they said is human activities, namely sand mining, brick making, waste disposal, sewage disposal are the prime reason leading to pollution in the Karamana river of Thiruvananthapuram district. So here, water we said from the fluorine to E. coli contamination, directly or indirectly affecting the human health in a multiple of ways, and parallelly it affecting the natural aquatic environment. So that's revealed by all these examples. Normally the E. coli count is 0. See the word E. coli count is 0. But what we have noticed across Kerala states, about 10. About 10. So that means across the state there is possibility of E. coli contamination in the drinking water. So that's another very important news you have. Again, there are also reports saying that in Ponnani in Malappuram, Valley of Trivandrum have got salt intrusion into the water, salinity intrusion into the water. So we recorded the same in Ponnani, Malappuram, Valley, and also recently from Vaikam. So that again encountering the intrusion of salinity or seawater into the groundwater. Another issue you have. What may be the reason? Salinity propagates more into the interior of the river. Flushing of the system became less effective. The Brahmaputra, Periyar, Meenachil, Kuttiyadi rivers have got issue with the salinity intrusion. The major reason is invariably illegal, unethical mining of sand occur in the river areas. Then again we got another very interesting point. Recently the water in Kerala recording pesticidal, insecticidal contamination. You know the two words. The pest eradication was carried by pesticide. Insect eradication was carried by insecticide. So both are using unscientifically without seeing the dosage. So generally the plant will be protected. But as a consequence of rainwater or water spray, good percentage was leaking into the nearby stream or into the well or into the groundwater. Another serious issue for the people in Kerala. So, if you go for the geochemical analysis of the groundwater, it revealing all these components like fluoride, acidity, salinity intrusion, sodium and magnesium chloride, hardness, E. coli contamination, pesticidal effect, insecticidal effect. See, more than 7 number you have. So what will be the solution for this? One is, we got an effective act called Water Prevention Control Act. 1974, it was framed, amended in 1988. That give guarantee for clean water, protecting water from pollution. Secondly, we got a Water Cess Act. We are making some charge or leaving a tax on water. The amount collected should be given to the state government, a proportion for purifying the water. Second act, Water Cess Act, implemented, amended in 2003. Then we got a very powerful EPA, Environmental Protection Act, 1986, safeguarding the environment. Fourth is National Project on Aquifer Management. When I put the word aquifer management means some private companies are taking water from the ground. Pepsi issue in Palakkad. But there is a national policy we have for making that program in a scientific manner that also safeguard groundwater. And fifth is Groundwater Sustainable Management Bill 2017 that also support or protect the groundwater. And sixth is National Green Tribunal. Anybody can file case or NGT can directly take the case if the groundwater or the water body are polluted. These are the acts or the policies protecting the water from pollution. Here I can give an example, suggestion. In Chennai, a rooftop rainwater harvesting system was implemented for getting guarantee or getting permission for construction. That means any building have got 3 stories should have got a rooftop rain harvest system directly from the rainwater, so no pollution. See? And secondly, you can suggest another one, wastewater treatment should be mandatory. Regularly we have to carry that one. Thirdly, demineralization program using reverse osmosis system that can remove the impurities. And fourth is, the Pollution Control Board regularly should monitor the water pollution occurring across the Kerala or the districts of Kerala. So that also you can recommend. Again, recently, the Audit General have given a report recently. The report saying that establish enforceable water quality standard. Point number 1. So the AG report saying that, CAG report, what we commonly call Controller and Auditor General reports, saying that the water quality should be enforced with the standard. Penalty should be given those who are violating the standard. Then conservation and restoration of lake. What they said. And fourth is over-exploitation of groundwater should be restricted. Fifth is encourage research and development connecting with quality analysis. Lastly, as usual, awareness to the common man or the public. These should be made ensured to the common man, the report given by CAG to Government of India. Again, a third question, in the same direction. Coastal erosion in Kerala. Almost 30% of total population lives in coastal area. If you take Kerala, nearly 30% of population are resided along the coastal belt. One other fact we have. Secondly, nearly 2,300 industries discharging their effluent directly into the marine belts. See, the industries are releasing their effluent without any treatment directly in the marine sources. That's why the background question is, coastal erosion in Kerala have got any issue with this one? We will analyze. One is, if you go to the coastal morphodynamic studies, the erosion and sediment redistribution in coastal area was caused by corrosion, hydraulic action or abrasion. See the point? The coastal morphodynamic study reveals that erosion and sediment redistribution was due to corrosion, hydraulic action, abrasion. Again, many beaches and shoreline of India functioning in a multi-dimensional manner. For example, maritime commerce, space for residential area, commercial activity, recreation purposes. Again, regularly the developmental activities along the coastal line increasing, not only in Kerala, across the globe. The developmental activity are often carried out without a clear understanding of the coastal dynamics. This leads to long-term worst issues, permanent damage, particularly to the local communities. See the point here. Now, this is the issue we have in Kerala or across the Indian state. So what are the reasons? MOEFCC, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, revealed that 40% of Indian coastal line is subjected to high or medium or low level coastal erosion. And the reason what they said is the wave energy. The natural hazards like cyclone, thermal expansion of the seawater, storm surges, tsunami due to melting of continental glaciers, ice sheet as a result of climate change hamper, affect the natural rhythm and precipitate the erosion. Similarly, strong littoral drift resulting in sand movement can also be considered as one of the major reasons for coastal erosion. Dredging work, sand mining, coral mining contributed to coastal erosion, causing sediment deficiency, modification of water depths, leading to longshore drift and altered wave reflection. Coastal erosion has been sparked by or increased by fishing harbors, dam constructed in the catchment area of the river port, reducing the flow of sediment from river estuaries into the coastal region. But these are some of the reasons promoting or increasing the coastal erosion. Recently, Minister of Earth Science has given a report to Government of India. The report saying that 89% of shoreline of Andaman Nicobar Island is eroded by the Bay of Bengal. See the point, 89% is eroded. Similarly, among the tourist area in India, Goa has the highest percentage of stable shoreline. Goa has the highest percentage of stable protective shoreline. Again, 60% of coastal gaining lands Tamil Nadu has gained. Most new shorelines. National Center for Coastal Research revealed that from 1990 to 2016, 33% of Indian coastal line visualized erosion. Majority of erosion was visualized along the east coast facing Bay of Bengal. Among the states along the east coast, West Bengal faced the highest erosion. What are the preventive measures you can suggest? One is improving the vegetation along the coastal line. You cultivate those plants which can survive in the saline water and wind can be planted there, that normally minimize or slow down the pace of erosion. That's why you take casuarina plant is planted across the coastal belt right from the previous period. Number 2, using geosynthetic tube, a technology, geosynthetic tube that are being used along the coastal line. Example, Odisha, they minimize the coastal erosion by putting geosynthetic tubes. Building out into sea, low wall or barrier called Groynes, Groynes, to check or block drifting. Then again, you can have another suggestion. Use the indigenous knowledge of local community prior to take decision for implementing or making any program along the coastal line. So they will reveal what should be done, what should not be done. So you can get the opinion of local people across the state in the coastal area, so they can minimize the erosion. So what measures need to be taken further? So you can go for wave breakers. Already said that rising vegetative cover that was happened in many parts of Tamil Nadu successfully after the tsunami hit area, that potentially minimized further erosion. Our care can be taken to protect our valuable ecosystem like seaweeds, coral reef, mangroves from such erosion occurring unscientifically in our areas. Again, as you know that Government of India have got a notification. It was modified in 2018, known by the term Coastal Regulation Zone, CRZ notification. So the notification, some of the fragile coastal area are mooted to be opened up for tourism and other purposes by simplifying the project clearance procedure and giving greater say to states to manage the seaside tracts. So this is a modification from the previous report. That means the new coastal regulation saying that are promoting more tourism. Point number 1. Secondly, the guard of the coastal area will be the concerned state government, not by the national government. Environmentalists feel that this would impair the ecology of the coastal belt and lead to mighty or aggravate sea erosion. The changes mooted in the land use of the Coastal Regulation Zone 1, 2, for instance, can be a case to see. The Zone 1 comprises ecologically sensitive area which are currently marked as off limit for tourism and infrastructure. This is the previous one. Currently we go for the same. But the draft modification allow this zone to be used for natural trials and ecotourism through the concern of the state governments. Similarly, the Zone 2 comprises relatively undisturbed area lying close to the shoreline, which has a no development belt for 200 meters is previously available, 200 meters. Now it is going to be 50 meters. See, 200 meters was the previous report. Now it is going to 50 meters. That again makes the issue here. So these are the way in which we can substantiate the issue said in the question. Coastal area in Kerala or across the Indian state is prone to erosion. Okay. So here I am going to give some current components, current issues. One is, as you know that across the world, COVID pandemic is going on without finding any alternative for the issue. So definitely there will be some question connecting with the COVID, but not the traditional questions. Okay, see here one of the questions I am posing to you is COVID-19 law lab, LAW, law lab, what it reflects. See the word COVID-19 law, LAW, lab. What you are going to write? See the component. It is an online portal, not a cubicle laboratory. So it's an online platform, not a laboratory. The parent agency includes the UN and WHO. So they are the partners of the program, UN and WHO. It is the first coalition of health-related laws and protocols of the countries. So it's an international affair, not a national affair. So we are going to collaborate internationally in terms of health-related laws and protocol. The digital portal hosts all legal steps taken by the 190 countries fighting the pandemic. So you will get every information from across the world, how each country fighting against the COVID. The UNDP, United Nations Development Program, the WHO, the Joint UN Program on HIV/AIDS, and the O'Neill Institute for National and Global Health. Law at Georgetown University have collaborated for this initiative. So many international bodies are collaborating with the law lab component. The coalition aims to disseminate or provide information regarding the procedure, practices for effective enhancement of health-related laws. It is expected that most expensive coalition of laws, procedure related to health emergency. Very unique. So you are getting a global scenario regarding what each country doing in the issue. Second major point here is that what is the need of the repository? Why we need a law lab? The pandemic COVID created confusion regarding the treatment management protocol across the country, India. Some 220 countries or territories have enacted various procedures backed up by various enabling laws related to epidemics and health emergency, because each country framing their own ways. If it is effective, definitely India can follow the same protocol. So that's the main objective of the event. The law and policies that are grounded in science, evidence and human rights can enable people to access health service, protect themselves from the COVID-19 and live free from stigma, comma, discrimination and violence. See how much the law is going on. That's what we commonly call a lab law. See again, sharing of medicine, sharing of formula, even the treatment protocol has a big challenge due to the restrictive law and trade practices. But through this portal, we can exchange the whole. As health is global, legal framework need to be assigned with international commitments to respond. Current emerging public health is at risk. In that juncture, the event is very unique. Okay, that's what we commonly call a lab law. So it's not a cubicle lab, it is an online platform. There's another question also very common connecting with the COVID again. Manodharman initiative. So most probably you read in the paper. What is the initiative called? Manodharman initiative. When I put the word Manodharman, which covers a wide range of activities to provide psychological support to students, teachers, families for mental health and emotional well-being during the COVID outbreak and even beyond that one. Okay, so the point here is that it providing psychological support to the whole people of the world for mental health, emotional well-being during the COVID pandemic period and also beyond the COVID-19 period. It contains advisory tips, practical tips, posters, videos, do's and don'ts, psychological support. You can post questions, online query system, everything is there. Everything is there. So that's what is called a Manodharman initiative. It aims to provide psychological support to students because they are the most affected community. Okay, but that's again given. Included in the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. The Manodharman initiative was included under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan as a part of strengthening human capital, increasing productivity, efficient reform, initiative for the educational sectors. A toll-free helpline is also launched as a part of initiative for a country-wide outreach to students from schools, colleges and universities. Through the helpline, tele-counseling will be provided to address the mental health and the psychological issue. So the whole program is commonly called Manodharman initiative as a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan launched by Government of India. So 5 more questions like the lab law. Again, third one is again a short note question. So again, you know the word, very common in the news value. But when we want to answer the question, it's not easy. See the word, what is stringency index? Stringency index. It is among the matrices being used by the Oxford COVID-19 government response tracker. So see the word. It's a program, it's a statistical tool or a matrices designed by Oxford COVID-19 government response tracker. The tracker involves a team of 100 Oxford community members who have continuously updated a database of 17 indicators of government response. So 17 indicators based upon which they will give the index or indices. Okay, these indicators examine contaminant policies such as school and workplace, closing, public events, public transport, stay at home policies. These are the factors they are taking for accounting the stringency index. See the word there. Examine the contaminant policies such as school area, workplace area, public events, public transport, stay at home policies, based upon which they will statistically reveal the stringency index of the state or the country. The index vary from 0 to 100 based upon the 17 indicators. The higher index score indicates a high level of stringency. So if it is nearing 100, that means high level of stringency. How does the stringency index tells us, or what it reveals? It provides a picture of the stage at which any country enforced its strongest measures. That's the point. If you are analyzing the index, you will get an idea at which stage the particular state or the country taken the strongest measure to control the COVID-19. See the further points. The Oxford provides an overlay of countries, death curve and their stringency score. So parallelly drawn, death curve and stringency score. Some countries saw their death just begin to flatten as they reached their highest stringency, such as Italy, Spain or France. In such countries, the death curve is flattened as they reach their highest stringency. As China pulled a stronger measure, its death curve is plated. In countries like UK, US, India, the Oxford graph find that death curve has flattened after strictest measures were enforced. So that means our policy regarding the COVID is not successful, because even though we take the strongest measure, the death curve is not flattened. See, that's the point here. How does India compare with others? The index has found that India indeed has one of the strongest lockdown measures in the world. India imposed the controlling the COVID-19 by means of lockdown at 100 score since March 20. When compared to other countries with a similar or higher case loaded, India called strict lockdown at a much earlier point on its case and death curve. So we imposed the lockdown earlier, but we never get any positive results. These 18 other countries has got more than 500 cases when they called their strictest lockdown, while India has 320 only at the time. So our policy was failed. Again, India has only 4 deaths in March 22. When its score reached 100, while most countries had more deaths at that point, except Switzerland, no death. Spain called for its strictest measure later in the case and death count than all others. Sweden has led most liberal measures in this set, and Iran the second most liberal country. Okay, so we implemented the lockdown much earlier than what we required later. That was revealed by the stringency index curve. Again a very short note, Vande Bharat mission. Similarly, Operation Samudra Sedu. Sometimes they will ask, only for 5 marks. Vande Bharat mission will see the operation of 64 flights from 7th May to 13th May to bring back down 15,000 Indian nationals abiding abroad. Once completed, it may turn out to be the largest operation ever since 1990 airlift of 1.7 lakh people from Kuwait. Approximately 2,000 people from abroad will fly back to India daily. So the scheme is called with the term Vande Bharat Mission. Okay, there's another one is Indian Navy's Operation Samudra Setu. It's a program launched by Indian Navy. The word meaning is that sea bridge, as a part of national effort to repatriate Indian citizen from overseas. One is through air and another one is through sea. Indian naval ship Jalashwa and Magar are presently en route to the port of Mali, Republic of Maldives, to commence the operation from 8th May 2020 as a part of phase 1. INS Jalashwa is the largest ambitious platform in the Indian Navy and is based at the Eastern Naval Command Headquarters, Visakhapatnam. It can accommodate 1,000 people but will take only 800. So what we commonly called the Sea Bridge Program, Operational Samudra Setu. So that's again a part of the COVID-19 issue we have. Again, there's another word is again very important, YASH program, Y-A-S-H. YASH. The expansion is Year of Awareness on Science and Health. Year of Awareness of Science and Health is a comprehensive and effective science and health communication effort to promoting grassroots level of appreciation and response to health. A program of India. So see the word is a comprehensive, effective science and health communication effort for promoting grassroots level appreciation, response to health. The current pandemic scenario has posed concern, challenges all around, where scientific awareness, health preparedness play a significant role to help to counter the situation. That's the purpose of the YASH. It requires translation, usage of authentic scientific information to convey the risk involved in the facilities communities to overcome the situation. The program will encompass the development of science, health and risk communication, software, publications, audiovisual, digital platform, folk performance, trained communicators, especially in the regional language, to cater the various cross-section of the society in India. So see, multi-operator platform. You will get everything to boost your mental strengthness in the present issue. It also helps to save, shaping the life of the local people or the people at large, as well as to build confidence, inculcate a scientific temper and promote health consciousness among them, so that we can, to an extent, we can eliminate the COVID issues. What are the activities they are carrying? The program aiming at minimizing risk at all level with the help of public communication and outreach activities through which they convey the message. Promote the public understanding of common minimum science for community care. Health safety measures like personal sanitation, hygienic, social or physical distancing, maintaining desired collective behavior and so on. All this will be discussed with the public through outreach programs. The information dissemination mechanism to reduce the risk of fear and build confidence and necessary understanding for adapting sustainable, healthy lifestyle and nurturing scientific culture among the masses and the societies, what we commonly called YASH. There's another portal is also available, Yukti web portal, OUKTI. OUKTI. See, so many portal I said. It's a unique portal and dashboard to monitor and record the efforts and initiatives of MHRD. It's a program launched by Ministry of Human Resources and Development, Yukti. The portal was framed to cover the different dimensions of COVID-19 challenges in a more holistic, comprehensive way. So many portals are available to make the public more mental strongness. So that's why I place the word holistic, comprehensive way. The portal aim keep academic community healthy, both physically and mentally. Enable them to continuous high learning, high quality environments. So learning will be high with high quality environments. And again, the utility of the portal. The portal allows various institutions can share their strategies of various challenges which they faced during the COVID-19 situations. Suppose an institute have an ideal practice, they can share their knowledge there so that others can follow or practice. It also give input to better planning and will enable MHRD to monitor effectively its activities for coming 6 months. So it's a platform for exchange of ideas, and MHRD will monitor the program, and the good program will be chosen by MHRD that will be made into a policy for future need. It also establishes a two-way communication, bilateral channel between the Minister of HRD and the institution, so that ministry can provide all the supporting information to the institutions. Bilateral dialogue between host institute directly with MHRD, what we commonly called Yukti web portal. Okay, so we'll stop here.